Hello and welcome to a very special episode here at the Official Watchers YouTube channel. Today you might notice that we are not in Jardin du Mayfair, we are in fact in the special HQ office. Before I get started introducing my extremely special guest today, I'll just do a reminder to say like, comment, share and subscribe, and we'll keep these videos coming your way. Today, I have the very, very special Adam Radcliffe.
How you doing, mate?
Welcome to Official Watchers.
Thank you very much.
How you doing today?
Pleasure to be here.
Hey.
I've enjoyed the tour of your lair.
Yeah,
and we're in kind of this cigar lounge setup now, which I really like.
That's it. Yeah, we like to get the ambiance.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So Adam is a fitness influencer. He is a scuba diver. He runs across deserts. I don't think there's much he doesn't do. I've been really looking forward to having a chat with you because I think that what a lot of people don't know about you is you are really into watches.
Exactly. It doesn't really fit the adventure theme so much, but it's been a secret hobby of mine for like 10 years now.
So we're going to divulge into his secret hobby today. So Adam, before we start on the watches, I think that we're going to ask you a few questions about you and just get a little introduction. So I've prepared a few, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
So Adam, with you achieving so much, it's hard to know where to start. So watches aside to begin with, tell us a little bit about you and how it all began with your fitness journey.
Well, thank you for the compliment. Firstly, I don't know how much I've achieved so far, but it's just the start, Oscar. So watch this space.
I love that.
So fitness, you said fitness journey, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, it all started when I was kind of 16, 17. I was very skinny, low confidence. Didn't really realise that fitness would be the answer to a lot of my like confidence issues and like self-worth issues. So then I just started lifting, saw a little bit of something happening. I was like, oh, okay, we've actually got a bit of a vein there, building a bit of muscle here, and then never looked back. And yeah, it's done wonders for my confidence, and I've just like stepped onto the next thing after that.
Lovely, fantastic. So Adam's Instagram is Adam Radcliffe, it's all one word, and he is absolutely blowing up on there. I've been an avid follower of yours and I think your content is absolutely amazing. So congratulations to you on all your success.
Thank you very much.
I saw in June that you ran across a desert in Namibia with Russ Cook.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, how did that happen and why are you so mad in the head?
Well, that's kind of the premise for all of the videos. When I started the YouTube channel and the Instagram, it's I'm going to go around the world, just find challenges, do the most difficult stuff I can find, the most interesting stuff. And I just happened to be in Namibia at the same time that Russ was. He's running the entire length of Africa, all the way from South Africa up to the most northern point in Tunisia.
Wow, yes.
And so I kind of thought, well, I managed to intercept him in a sense because I was doing a week-long road trip of the country in Namibia. I knew he'd be absolutely rammed, so I messaged his cameraman because Russ and I had a mutual friend, and then his cameraman Harry said, yeah, not a problem, we're going to be between this city and this city on this day roughly, come and say hello. So we drove up in the middle of the desert, just some ginger guy running on his own, jumped out the car, and then we did almost 20k together, which was insane. Obviously very hot, and you had to like try and moisturize your mouth at any point because within less than 5 minutes, within a couple of minutes you were thirsty again. Yeah.
Oh, I can't imagine, it's like torture.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, literally that's what I'm all about. So just finding challenges and trying to be the best version of myself, you know.
Yeah, so for anyone that hasn't seen Russ, he's actually growing a bit. He's doing like the Forrest Gump thing, isn't he?
Yeah.
So like he started the run with quite a now he's got this huge bit, but he's still running.
Yeah, he said he's not cutting it the entire length. So
amazing.
All the best.
No, that's brilliant that you did that with him, and I think that's so cool. So my next question is, do you have any advice for anyone who wants to start getting fit and building up some muscle mass? Because my security guard calls me Little Bicep.
That's a good motivator, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's what you need.
Day.
Yeah. You're like, you're right. I do have little biceps. I need to get. Honestly, that would actually be my tip to some extent. Obviously, not self-deprecating too much, but. You need to identify, because all of the battle is going to be in your head. It's not really what you do in the gym that's the issue, it's getting into the gym. So you need to identify why you want to change yourself. So if you're overweight, like recognize that it's a problem to you and you want to fix it. Or if you're skinny, like I said, low confidence, recognize that you're not in the position you want to be. And this is what you need to do, the work you need to do in order to get there. So, because some days, like throughout my entire journey, I've not wanted to go to the gym. You lose sight of the big picture, so you need to call on your why, your mission statement, I guess you could call it, so that you can get off the sofa and get in the gym. So for me, that was I've put this work in so far. I'm still not happy with the way I look. I'm still not confident. I know that if I extrapolate where we are now and where we're going to get to, I'm going to achieve my goals. So being able to call on that why and then getting yourself into the gym is going to be far more important than optimizing your routine, because everyone's so focused on how many sets, how many reps, all of this, which exercises. But if you're not going to the gym consistently, then all of that doesn't matter. So it's like, take it step by step. If you're underweight, eat more. If you're overweight, eat less, and just, work hard in the gym in that 8 to 12 rep range, and you'll be surprised what you can achieve.
Lovely. Thank you for that. I appreciate it very much. Okay, so we'll move on to the watches in a bit. We've got 2 more questions for you. Adam, what is the worst advice that you've ever received, and what's the best?
Deep questions. Not letting me off lightly. I think, what would be the worst advice I've ever received? I think it comes down to following the status quo. So whenever people say, oh, you don't know what you want to do, just follow what everyone else is doing, and you can feel boxed into a path that isn't a representation of how you want to live your life. So everyone's is completely different. People want to be doctors, people want to be lawyers, but don't do it because you think you should or because your parents want you to. So and now it's changing a lot, with a lot of kids deciding not to go to university because they're like getting into using the internet to make money or finding their skills elsewhere. And so yeah, it would just be listen to yourself and identify what you really enjoy, so that you can start to live your life to the fullest rather than having to live your life for someone else.
That's a very good answer, and it resonates with me actually, especially what you say about the status quo, because something I've always noticed about your page is, I mean, let's be honest, fitness influencers, much like watch accounts on Instagram, there's hundreds, right? Thousands.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so there's a lot of you guys in your space, but your account has always stood out to me in the work that you're doing and stuff. So you're definitely not following the status quo. So keep it up, and I'm going to try and do the same with my channel. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And now the best, Adam.
The best piece of advice I think I've ever got is that no one's going to do it for you. So quite often we're fed sort of the American dream of just follow the path, do your thing, and then something magical is going to happen. And whether it's maybe arrogant self-righteousness, I always felt like I was destined for more. And so I was just following the path and thought, okay, when's this magical thing going to happen for me? And I think a lot of people need to realize that when you transition from childhood to adulthood, you're not being pulled along by anyone anymore. It's your responsibility to go and make happen what you want to happen. So no one's going to do the work for you, and you've got to make a plan and grind for yourself so that you can achieve what you want.
That is amazing, and absolutely agreed. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know better than anyone.
You got to wake up every day.
Not an easy journey, is it?
Got to wake up every day and think about good videos to make.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, last question, a bit about yourself. What's your favourite place that you've visited? Because obviously, as a follower of your channel, I've seen that you've been everywhere. And also, where are you off to next?
Yeah, okay, so I'll give you 2 favourite places depending on, so we've got some holiday inspo for anyone watching as well. One of them quite close to home, hugely underrated country, is Jordan. Not many people know, but it's becoming a lot more touristy now. You've got the ancient city, the lost city of Petra there, and it's far bigger than, everyone knows the Treasury Monument, if you remember the picture, but it's a huge lost city. It took us a whole day to walk through. It's absolutely incredible. And in the south of the country, they've got a desert called the Wadi Rum Desert, and it's where they filmed The Martian, some of the Star Wars movies. It's just a vast expanse of like this red sand, and there's one point where you can stand. Do you know Lawrence of Arabia as well, the old movie? So it's Lawrence's house is the point in the desert, and you can see all the way down into Saudi Arabia in one direction and all the way into Israel in the other direction through like gaps in the rocks. Super peaceful place. So good for like a couple's holiday or with a mate. I road tripped the whole country with a mate in like 5 days, I think it was. So thoroughly recommend that.
Did you just run around it in 5 days?
Yeah, tried my best. Yeah,
and then you're like, I'm going home now.
I don't need a car. Yeah. And then if you want more of like a tropical, dreamy paradise, I think the Philippines is still massively underrated as well. So it's getting that way now. It's kind of catching Thailand up in terms of like a traveller's destination. But on the west side of the Philippines, you've got a couple of islands called Palawan. The region's called Palawan, and you've got an island called Coron as well. Incredible like palm tree beaches, crystal clear water and white sand, and not too difficult to get to. You fly to Manila and then you fly to the island. So
lovely.
Yeah, obviously more difficult to get to the intricate islands in the middle, but yeah, you can have an incredible experience there as well.
Lovely. If any of our viewers have been to any of these places and have anything to say, please do let us know in the comments.
Definitely.
Okay, and then where are you off to next, Adam?
So as you know, Oscar, I'm taking a little pit stop in the UK at the moment, but essentially at the end of October I'm doing a huge Central and South America tour. So I'm going to start on the east coast of Mexico and work my way all the way down to Ushuaia in Argentina is the idea. We'll see how it goes, see if I get stopped along the way, but just gonna document the journey, find some challenges and take people with me, because I start in October, I'll finish in about Feb. So if you need some like some winter escape from reality, that's kind of what I'm there for.
So you can then check out his channel and see all the amazing things that he's up to there. We'll put a link in the description. Okay, so now onto the meat and potatoes, the thing that we're absolutely obsessed with here, and that is, of course, watches. So, what first got you into watches?
I think it's 10 years now, so I was about 16, 17, in between sixth form lessons. My mates and I would just like go on the computers and start looking up watches, and I've always been a huge movie buff, and so once you start identifying, hold on, this lead character's wearing this watch and this one's wearing this watch, whatever it is, whether it's Christian Bale with a Reverso in The Dark Knight, or James Bond with an Omega, or Sean Connery in the olden days with a Submariner, and then you start to put these things together, and it's like I realised it's something you can take as a companion with you on your adventures through life, and that can represent the point in the life that you're at, or a journey that you've been on. And it's, I feel like it's quite a manly trait as well, just to be able to know the time. I never like having to ask someone the time, so I've always got a watch on.
I know what you mean, yeah.
And so that was it really, but obviously we were looking at Speedmasters and Seamasters on the computer and thinking, God, $4,000, I hope I can buy one of them one day.
Yeah.
And then all of my mates and I, for our 18th birthdays, just like attacked our parents and said, we want we want watches. So I'll show you one of those when we get onto them in a second. My first ever proper watch.
Lovely. So that will actually segue us beautifully to these lovely watches that you very kindly brought along today to tell us a little bit about. So these are Adam's watches, and he's brought them very kindly to show us. So Adam, please, can we have a look at some of your watches?
Yeah, I'll take it away. So this is the one in question. When I was 18 years old, I watched before then, in 2014, I watched Interstellar.
Oh yes, I love that film.
Yeah, the Matthew McConaughey film. And so, like I said, I was envious over all these Swiss watches, and then I looked up, okay, Hamilton Khaki Pilot, what is that? 500 quid, that's not so bad. And then I saw they did a quartz version because I couldn't afford 500-600 quid. And this set me back about 300, so I asked for my 18th. And this is my first proper American designed, Swiss made quartz, obviously, which I have mixed feelings about not being able to afford the automatic, but I think you should have one quartz in your collection, whereby if you're away from your watches from a bit, you come back to one, you can just throw it on and it's the time's set,
My favourite thing about what you've just said there, and I just think is so lovely, is the fact that you still have this watch, okay? So that is the main thing that true collectors and people who are really into these things, you still have this watch and you can still hold it, and all this time, how old are you now?
Yeah, 26 now,
Right,
yeah.
there you go. So you've had it 8 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is just amazing.
That's flown by. Yeah, and I'll never sell it. So
good for you.
Yeah, I like the exact same reason.
Exactly, that's beautiful. Can I have a look?
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you so much. I love the big hands. Pilot's watches, always the dials are so clean, and I love the big hands.
It's a big thing for me, symmetry and simplicity.
Yeah. So I bet when you first got this, you just literally sat there staring.
Yeah, that is it.
Yeah. I know the feeling
And the first scratch hurt a lot, and then I kind of changed my mindset to it's there to be like loved and used,
Yeah, I love the way that the really large numerals play in the light will get you guys a shot of that. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, I think it's like a vertical emboss, so it like catches at different points. I love that as well.
Yeah, and I love what you said about not knowing the time, because I was always like, in my family, I was considered like the nerd with the time.
Yeah.
Like I would always like be obsessed with like, what time I'm leaving, what time I'm getting to places. Like if I had an interview or something, I'd always be like 20 minutes early or something, because I'd just be obsessed with time.
Yeah.
I think that's deep within all of us watch
For
nerds,
sure.
isn't
Yeah, it all stems from that, I think.
Yeah. Cool. What else have you got to show us today?
So let's go next, kind of early. I inherited this one.
Okay.
The only thing I've ever inherited, whether it be money or a possession, and it's an Eternomatic. So this is I actually don't know too much about the history. It's from around the 60s. Eternomatic 1000 is from my great-grandfather.
Wow.
And yeah, there's a kind of a longer story I can tell as well. This was the company Eterna. They branched off to form the ETA company, as you know.
Yes.
Did you know that already?
No.
Yeah. So they sold ETA. I think it's owned by the Swatch Group now.
Yes, it is.
And so I think it's the 2824-2 that's used in so many like cheap Swiss mechanical movements.
You're right. It's the ETA 2824-2.
Yeah. And so it's nice to have like kind of own that father company that then branched off into that. And my grandfather's favourite book growing up, which he forced me to read, was the Kon-Tiki Expedition. And there were, I believe, Norwegian explorers that wanted to identify if it's possible that the Polynesian islands could have been inhabited, or first like founded and taken over by South Americans. So he set off with his Norwegian companions from a raft in Peru and made it all the way, like by wind, on this like wooden raft to the Polynesian islands, wearing an Eterna.
Wow.
So it kind of ties in nicely. My granddad's book and then my great granddad's watch, and so I love this for that reason as well.
That's lovely. It's so rare to see someone have such a lovely sort of selection and such lovely stories behind them. So congratulations to you. You're still such a young man and you've already got such beautiful things with such lovely stories attached.
Thank you.
That's really
Take
special. That's really special. Thank you so much.
And anyone, I think you can pick them up for £200-ish. So it's quite a nice.
It's a lot of value, isn't
piece,
it?
You know? Yeah.
It's really nice. I think the crystal's slightly domed and I really like that. It's got this kind of domed effect to it. It's beautiful. Really, really nice. Lovely to have things that you can then hand down as well once you
for sure.
Start a family one day. That'll be in your family a long time.
Exactly. So I'll take you on to the next one.
Please.
In terms of handing down. This is the Tudor GMT, which I'm sure everyone's very well aware of. And this was my first proper job watch.
Right.
So I got my first job in May, like full-time after uni in May 2020.
Okay.
And then I was just obsessed with watch YouTube and looking at what I wanted to get and when I could afford it. So I got this on finance in December 2020. And I think I made the perfect decision. It was between this and a Speedmaster. This was 3,000 at the time, and the Sapphire Speedmaster was about 5, I think. So almost half the price, great value, and I've always loved GMTs. And so this is like almost 3 years old now. You know a lot about this watch as well.
I know a lot about this watch. So actually this watch, we've got a shared love for this watch. I had this watch for about 3 years, and it was before I had any Rolex or anything like that. And ironically, this kept better time than all of my Rolexes. This was, when I had this watch, it was running +1, -1 like per day. It was literally perfect, which is a nod to the movements in the Tudor.
This is +1 as well. +1, +2.
See, the true nerds, you know what your watches are running at. But I think Tudor knocked it out the park with this watch. I also think that this watch, I did tell you before, but I think this watch suits you perfectly because me and you, I mean, I wish I was your size, but I'm getting there. This, I think, suits a slightly larger stature. I really love the size of this watch. And another thing that I noticed about when I owned this watch is it really can take anything you can throw at it.
It'll pick up some scratches, but it's not going to break anything.
Absolutely, exactly that. And you know, Tudor have come such a long way now. They're no longer the little kind of like side weird brand of Rolex. They're their own thing now, and we see that they're having a bit more fun with their watches. So I don't know if you've seen the white dial version of this.
I have, from last year.
Yeah, they're calling it Opaline. So again, that's a little nod, and I really, really like that watch. So this is beautiful, man. This is a really good piece.
Thank you. That's one for life as well. And when it comes to like why you buy watches and for handing down and stuff, I knew that it was an investment, and I don't want to sell it. So when I'm kind of picking up scratches, it doesn't bother me because I know it's going to a son or a grandson or whatever.
Good for you. Exactly that. Yeah, no, it's an absolutely beautiful piece. Congratulations to you.
Thank
you.
Then
this one I'm really interested in because I believe this is the one that has seen a
lot of sights. It's scarred for life. This one. So when I was smaller, because I came, if anyone doesn't know, like I mentioned at the start, very skinny physique, so very wiry. And
there is a picture on his Instagram if you want to see for real. He was a very skinny man.
Exactly. So I could never get away with wearing one of these. So I had the what's the cheap £10 one that the Casio?
Is it
whatever the reference is? You know the one I mean, the classic.
The one,
you can pick them up for a tenner, like 30-metre water
David
resistance.
Goggins bought one just for one race. Like he ran to get one quickly before he went on some
did he? I didn't know that.
Run.
So then once I'd put a bit of size on, I wanted like a companion for my travels. And a huge thing, obviously, when you're in countries where you're, sometimes having to bribe a police officer or chat to a local that doesn't want you don't want them to know that you've got some money or whatever. So you don't want anything that's flashy or metal or anything like that. So that's why I went for this, because I could lob it at a wall and there's not going to be any issues. I can snorkel with it, not scuba dive, but I can snorkel down to like 5 meters with it as well. And then it's got obviously it's a battery, so you can quick set for GMT when you're changing time zones. It's got a stopwatch, and it's just quite inconspicuous and hefty. So I love it. It's been to over 15 countries, I reckon.
Wow. So it's just lovely, these things and the journeys that they've been on with you. Does this one have a light?
It does, top right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, that is so cool because that's what I always think is like, you know, like Navy SEAL type thing. Like you probably
exactly.
have actually used that, haven't you?
And they're also loom hands anyway, so if I don't want to press the light, you can often see, see the time.
Yeah. Well, I was saying to you that I think G-Shock are like, they're going crazy now with these kind of Casio and this kind of stuff, and I just think that the shapes and the colours, and a lot of the rappers are wearing them, and you see a lot of celebrities out in G-Shocks and stuff, and man, it's really, really cool. This is nice. It's got the day as well, which I've just noticed. I didn't realise that. That's cool.
And the month.
Yeah, so much information, and just you can tell that this one has really, you know, has been through it. Which is just so cool. Good for you.
Every session in the gym as well, because I always love having something on my wrist. So
I know what you mean. You feel completely naked when you don't have a watch on. I totally get it. Yeah, lovely. Well, thank you so much for showing us these. This has really been beautiful for me to see someone talk about their watches and hear about that. So thank you so much, Adam. We really, really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Okay, so we'll move on to the next part of our interview. Okay, so here's some that me and Adam have prepared earlier, fresh out of the oven. Adam, talk us through it. Basically, the question here that we've asked Adam is what would be his favourite trio of watches, sports, formal and beta?
So I think anyone can accept that they'd be in a very fortunate position if they could choose a white gold Rolex as a beta, but that's what I've gone for. This is correct me any mistakes I make. White gold Rolex Yachtmaster with an Oyster Flex.
Absolutely, yeah. It's the 42 mil. It's a very special watch. I actually did hope that you'd choose it for your sports, because I think that it is a true sports. It's got the ceramic bezel, which means it can take anything that you throw at it. So the old Yachtmaster had a platinum bezel, and that platinum bezel was extremely soft. So that would pick up dings, dents, scratches everywhere you go. This can actually be worn and used as a true sports watch. Another interesting aspect of, again, why I'd hoped you'd choose it is because of the Oyster Flex bracelet. So when I was sort of having a look into that, they don't call it an Oyster Flex strap, and if they did, it would just be rubber, right? But the strap actually has a thin sheet of titanium going through both sides, so
I didn't know that.
It's a true bracelet, and it can take, again, anything that you throw at it. So it's a proper watch, and it's a proper sports watch. And it fits, which means
it does fit actually. Yeah, there you go. I've got to buy it. But having the rubber aspect for the beta, it's not too heavy, albeit 42. And very clear and legible, which is kind of why I chose it as well. Simple, easy to read. You've got the date, you've got the time with no issues at all. So my favourite thing, and I think me and you got a very similar taste in watches, but the change from 40 mil to 42 mil, that dial real estate is dramatic. It's enormous, and it's so much nicer to read. Now, a lot of people going back the other way now, preferring small watches, but I'm a sucker for a big watch, and I love a big dial. It's just so clear. No, couldn't agree more. So white gold, a great choice for a beta watch. Bravo, Adam. You know how to do it. Please go ahead. Sure. So then we'll go into sports, I guess. I just tried to see whichever category I could get a Nautilus into, and managed to fit it into the sports category. I think these are just so sleek. Obviously, same designer as the Royal Oak as we were talking about earlier, but I love the cleanness of the bezel, the symmetry. It's just such a classy watch, isn't it? So go on, please. I was going to say wear it under a suit, wear it with a t-shirt, wear it with a polo. Like, it's very versatile. That's what I was going to say. So it's so thin, you can literally wear it for anything. But again, you've gone for the slightly bigger dial, because that's the 5811G. So that's white gold, and the dial is now 1 millimeter bigger. So the original Nautilus is 40. But this is 41, and that dial real estate again is just so lovely. Plus, it has an extension on the clasp now, so you can get an extra 3 to 4 mil there on the clasp. We can show them. So when you're traveling with the difference in humidity, or summer to winter, whatever. As soon as you get to the beach, you just pop it open on both sides, and you get that extra link feel. It's a really, really cool watch. I'd love to have a life where I could wear that to the beach. Hey, you will. If you keep going the way you're going, you will in no time at all. So this is a limited edition Calatrava, and as you said, well, you took this one to Goodwood, didn't you? I'm just looking at the checkered. I did indeed, yes. So I chose this watch for Goodwood because I absolutely love the sort of checkered aspect in the middle there. I thought that it looked like a race flag. Definitely does. So that's why I wanted to take it to Goodwood, and I love that watch. Sleek, thin, beautiful. And as we said before, wear it to any formal occasion. And I wanted to kind of have a different strap or bracelet for every single every choice that I made, because why not have the versatility?
Good for you, good for you. You know how to build a collection.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah,
That's
you're
it.
a true watch guy. So we've done your formal watch, but I have to mention that you are wearing probably the classiest formal watch in the building right now. So JLC Reverso?
Yeah, Grand Reverso GMT in rose gold. And honestly, no offense, I reckon I would choose this over the Calatrava. It's
Good
nice
for
to have
you.
a different brand, obviously, from the two here as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, so with the fact that it's GMT, it's got a quick set. I don't know if I've shown you this yet. So it's got a quick set for the hour. Yeah, and just my final thing that I absolutely love about this is the contrast of the colours, from the strap to the gold to the white face. So I often have it on the white rather than the black. I just think it's super classy. And like I mentioned, Christian Bale in The Dark Knight wore a Reverso. So that's what got me onto them initially. And I just think Jaeger-LeCoultre are such a classy brand. And they call them the watch collector's watchmaker.
Absolutely, they do, yeah. And that white dial, I'd have it on the white side 24/7 myself.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really clean. It looks absolutely amazing. And I have to say, yep, you've got the best formal watch in the building today. Yeah,
Excellent.
Yeah. Lovely, thank you so much. Okay, so last question for you. A Rolex Paul Newman Daytona or an all expenses paid 6-month trip around the world?
So what's the price of the Daytona these days?
335,000.
So I reckon in monetary value, you're stupid not to choose the Daytona, right? But so I've been in a position before I quit my job and started this venture where I had a Rolex, I had an Explorer 2, I had a BMW, and I just didn't like my life the way it was. So I think you can have all the possessions in the world, but if you don't enjoy your life, then it's worth nothing, you know? So a watch or any material possession should be there to complement your life. So that's kind of my stance on it. So I think take the 6-month all expenses paid, have stories to tell the grandkids, and then make enough money to buy the Daytona to remember it by.
Very lovely, very deep and profound.
Thank you very much.
And I have to say, when you got back though, after your 6 months and 1 day, and you wake up, you'd be like,
That's it, yeah. You can't have them all.
Yeah, exactly. But lovely. Thank you so much for your lovely answers. I have a last surprise for you. This is in true official watchers fashion. You've headed down to see us today, and I'm so honoured to have had you on the channel. So I wanted to surprise you with a few special pieces. So here we have some sportsman's watches.
Yeah, incredible.
Okay, and these are true sportsman's pieces. Okay, so the first I'm going to show you on this trio of very special Richard Milles is this one here, because this, I believe, would be handy for you on your scuba expeditions. This is the RM25, and as you can see, it's an absolute monster. It has a tourbillon there, it's a chronograph, and it also has the strongest diving bezel I've ever felt on any watch. I'll just show you. You press these two buttons, and it clicks around like that. And I mean, it's just a mad piece. 300 meter water resistance. It can take truly anything you can throw at it. They designed it that way. Sylvester Stallone's been seen wearing these, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I thought you might like to have a look at one.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? It's like 42 millimeters thick.
Never mind
wide,
yeah. I'd love you to feel that bezel. Yeah, so you just pop those, no, take the time. Yeah, that's it, and then it turns.
That's nice, so safe while you're diving as well.
So that's what I thought you might like to feel, actually, because it's truly exceptionally designed, as Richard Mille often do.
Yeah, unidirectional, and then you have to click it, so you're not going to run out of air anytime soon.
Exactly that, yeah. And they're also good at just doing like unnecessarily good complications. So
with the tourbillon
as far as I know it, there isn't a tourbillon with a 300 meter water resistant, because why would anyone need that? But that's Richard Mille through and through.
Yeah, very lavish. But I think there's only one person in the building that could pull this off, and that's your security guard. So I'm not sure.
He'll love that.
Yeah.
He's going to love this video. Yeah, it's going to be a special one for him. It's a great watch,
awesome.
though, isn't it? I mean,
and like, when you first showed me this, I said that's very much a Stallone type watch, isn't it? Because it's very hefty, lovely.
Yeah. So they often do things that are sort of, mechanically unnecessary, but it's to prove a point. Okay, like they can do it.
Yeah.
And I love that about Richard Mille, and I think that probably brings us on nicely to our next watch, which is the RM35 Ultimate. This is a limited edition of only 35 pieces. It's an extremely special watch, and it only weighs 44 grams. Okay, so prepare yourself for when I hand you that. Yeah, please.
Wow, that is incredible.
Yeah.
Lighter than the G-Shock.
Absolutely lighter than the G-Shock.
That's insane. And obviously it's got the skeleton dial as well, so you can see.
It does indeed. So actually the case material is so light and so thin that when you put a light underneath the watch, it just shines all the way through.
Jesus.
So the reason I wanted to show you this is this was actually given to a skier, a professional skier called Alexis Pinterolt, and he was the world's most coveted professional skier. But Richard Mille, he often makes editions for his friends, right? And they made a prototype of this watch for him, and he lost it up a mountain. He hit one of the slalom poles, and apparently it's still up there to this day.
So someone should go looking for it. That's an expensive mistake.
You realise it's a one of one as well. So it's a prototype. True. So I mean, its auction value would probably be in the 20s of millions.
Yeah.
And somewhere up that mountain, it's there now. Yeah.
What I love about Richard Mille, as you said, is they do it for the sake of it. So they give these elite sportsmen these incredible pieces, and it's ridiculous in a lot of cases, but why not when you can, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So that has been skied in, not that exact one,
yeah,
but it's been skied in by countless professional skiers now, and I mean, it's just such a special thing.
And that's the thing with Richard Mille, they make the watches that don't get in the way for these elite sportsmen to do their job. So like Nadal plays with one on because it's so light, it just doesn't even faze him, you know?
Absolutely, he does. So we also have the Richard Mille RM27, which is a Nadal, and we have a video coming on that soon, guys, so check that video out.
What's your stance on crown down, crown up? People are picky about it.
I'm crown down myself, but there's no rules today. You enjoy yourself. And then last up, I have, well, this is certainly not a last but not least model, because this is actually even lighter. This one's 32 grams. This one's very special because it's actually made for a high jump, a world famous high jumper. He's a sprint jumper and high jumper, and he's called Mutaz Barshim, and this is the 6702 Mutaz Barshim edition, and again, he is the world's most coveted sprinter and high jumper. So he jumps those 2 meter poles at the fastest possible speed, and he does it wearing this.
Yeah, this is just insane, isn't it? I think the contrast of having a 6-figure watch and a strap like this is just mind-blowing, but I think it's cool. I think it's really cool.
So interestingly enough, when I was researching the strap for this video, when we made it, we got a full-length YouTube on this as well. When we were researching the strap, there was about 15 pages just on the strap alone from Richard Mille explaining like how they went to such great lengths for the elastication aspect. It's so strong. It's, you know, it feels terrifying at the thought of a watch at that value on the strap like that, but that strap is not going anywhere. It's so well designed.
You need to be assured of that, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, exactly. But it's where they take their pride.
That's insane. I think that's beautiful.
I think this would suit you for a lot of your sporting events, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I agree, because that's the other thing as well. I love a metal bracelet when I'm socialising or a more formal occasion, but if I want something that I need to be able to wear in the gym or to, you know, wear out and about, I don't want to have to think about knocking it or whatever, and something like this is perfect for that. Yeah,
you mentioned that actually, and I totally agree with you. That's why I thought your Oyster Flex choice was such a fantastic choice for your watch as well, because I just think, you know, you can really, really do the thing in these watches, and I believe that's the way to go.
And before you finish the video, Oscar, I just want to make sure you know why I've got 2 watches on my wrist at this time.
Go ahead.
Because I've got a lot of time on my hands, mate.
Hey, very good. Okay.
It's my favourite one. My favourite dad joke.
That dad joke is about 20 years too senior for you, young man. Yeah, very good. I love that a lot. You have got a lot of time on your hands, and some beautiful pieces. And thank you so much for bringing your pieces. That has meant the absolute world to me, and I'm sure our viewers will really enjoy that as well. So, Adam, you've been an
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Amazing guest. Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it, and I will always be supporting you on what you're doing in your journey. And I'm coming for you as well, man.
Yeah, likewise. No, we're going to get in the gym at some point as well.
I can't wait. So I'll be going on Adam's YouTube channel, and we'll be going through. He'll put me through my paces, and we'll see what we're made of. Yeah,
awesome.
I'm dreading it. I'll make sure to be ready for you.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah. So guys, thank you so much for joining me and Adam on this interview. I hope you've enjoyed it today. Adam's watches have been fantastic. This has been great for our channel, and thank you again. And please do like, comment, share and subscribe, and we'll keep this content coming your way.